Pa 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 pa.
Pa, 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 pa.
Da 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 da.
Bwana.
Welcome to another musing by your wise philosophers. From the ambiguous perspective, I am Mesh Mwandishi.
And this is the one and only Kamlesh.
Yeah. So, stories have been doing rounds on the internet.
Yeah.
We saw the videos on Sunday of actual vibranium. But now the niggas who found it are not like... Somebody did a thread on Twitter, by the way, Nigerian, about how the Mbakus are taking charge. It was a metaphor, though, for Black Panther. About how the Mbakus have taken charge and have destroyed everything instead of giving the power to the Shuris and the Chalas so that they can make things better. Yeah. Anyway, before we go to that,
Okay, that's a whole lot to unpack right there.
Allegedly, there were rocks, right, found in the Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo, which have the ability to store electricity. Now, scientists are still doing more research, but we saw what we saw. Someone took a bulb, right, that had conductors on both ends, connected one end, and voila, the bulb shined.
There was another video of them holding two of those rocks
and clashing them.
Yeah, and it was like electric,
like some blue lights, like effervescence and shit. Yeah, man, we saw what we saw, and I mean, trust the science, but then we have to get a concrete explanation. You know what I mean?
Can I ask you something? Do you believe all this information in movies comes from somewhere?
I don't want to be a conspiracist, but sometimes though, some things are hella sus.
Yeah. I'm like,
yo, man, like, the coincidence is just too strange. You know what I mean? The coincidence is just too strange. But now coming to the political situation of it. Now, Congo is a place that has been fucked up for a very long time, ever since somebody by the name Leopold decided there's a land in Africa somewhere and I'm gonna take it for myself. But do you know what? Congo was never colonized by Belgium. That's a lie. It was the personal property. Actually, that's the word that was used in law. Yeah. The personal property of King Leopold III. So it was never a colony of the Belgium. It was a colony of Leopold.
So from a technicality point of view, Congo was never colonized.
Yeah.
They were enslaved.
That's the word.
That's the difference. Yeah. So in regards to that, I asked the question. Congo is one of the most mineral-rich countries in the world.
It's mind-blowing, man.
Is that the reason?
Gold, diamond, bauxite, copper, and now these strangest metal. It just wonders, man. And they keep discovering them. It's weird.
My question is that the reason why they don't have political stability? Is that the reason why Congo has never been allowed to gain autonomy per se?
Yes and no, because I feel like the blame is not entirely on the West, right? The original sin, though, can be traced to the West, because in the 1960s, Congo just got independence. It's literally a baby starting to know how to walk. And then the assassination of Lumumba happens and everything goes helter-skelter from
Who assassinated him?
Patrice Lumumba.
Who assassinated
Nah,
Alphabet Boys?
I don't want to get into trouble with the courts or nothing, so I ain't going to mention nobody.
But
the Alphabet Boys.
Yeah. The Alphabet Boys.
But those Alphabet Boys, right, from the country, the Alphabet Boys, and then, like, there's this organization with letters and numbers.
Yeah. The European one.
Yeah. No, it's an island, actually.
Yeah, but it's still European.
Yeah. So you people know what you're talking about.
Yeah, recently has a king. Got a king recently.
Yeah.
That those boys plus, but anyway. So Congo coincidentally,
And they're also the boys from this country that makes black and white movies.
oh, of course,
Yeah, it's those three countries.
of course,
You
they
people
have
know
to
what
be
you're
involved.
talking about.
Yeah. So Congo, if left to its means, has rubber.
Yeah, rubber. I forgot about rubber. Damn.
Any mineral you can think of under the ground, they have it.
Yeah.
I mean, any raw material you can think of above ground, they have it.
Yeah.
From a beautiful, beautiful country, mountains,
fertile soil. It's literally red soil.
red fertile soil with a rainforest,
Yeah.
amazing gorillas, by the way,
the
right?
wildlife, the ecosystem,
The wildlife, is
rivers
amazing.
and lakes, and
Yeah.
just water is just flowing.
Yeah. Question is, why are they not independent? Why do we hear rumors of Kagame doing this and that?
Yeah, I wanted to come to that.
Why?
So I was actually watching a video the other day, and now this is one of the few conspiracy theories I believe in. The Tutsis,
Yeah.
which is, and here's the thing, I once talked to a Rwandan, and he swears down that the Tutsi is not a tribe. Yeah.
What is it?
So, according to Rwandans, according to how they are taught in school, and I think it kind of makes sense because, so I'm saying, there's a conspiracy theory, one of the few conspiracy theories I believe in, about Tutsis trying to rule East Africa, right?
So who exactly are Tutsis?
Exactly, that's a thing we never really know. But according to Rwandans, because I once spoke to a Rwandan person, and that's the first question I asked them, and we had a long-ass discussion, and he told me the Rwandese are one tribe, right? But what used to happen in the ancient days, there was a Rwandese kingdom. Now the Tutsi referred to the ruling class, the Hutus referred to the middle class, and then there's a third class that was called the Twas. So there's actually three groups.
Okay.
Tutsis, Hutus, and Twas. Right? As we know them as tribes. Now, I ain't going to get into that. I'm not going to claim I know a person country better than they do.
Okay.
But there has been a systemic or concerted efforts, right, to get Tutsi into powers. For example, Kagame is a Tutsi, Museveni is a Tutsi.
So Tutsis are the higher ups, or the middle class.
but some sources say that Tutsis are not Bantus, and they consider themselves superior to Bantus.
So what are they?
Yeah, different accounts, man.
Maybe they're aliens.
Maybe they are. So Kagame is a Tutsi, Museveni is a Tutsi.
Wait, there are Tutsis in Uganda?
Yes. But you know Kagame was a general in Museveni's army.
What?
That you know, right? Yeah. Kagame, Museveni, Kabila, they fought the war in Uganda. When they conquered Uganda, they went and conquered Rwanda. When they finished with Rwanda, they went and conquered Congo. So the geopolitics of that region is very
Murky.
unstable and murky. And that's why I was saying, that's why my initial answer to your question was yes and no. Because there's a part where we can blame the West, but most of the current situation we find ourselves in is meddling by some of these African leaders who are always pro-Africa, but then some of the decisions they make or some of the things associated with them are not really clear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the whole Tutsi conspiracy, and there's a lot to prove it. Yeah. Another factor, I think, and for me there's a solution to Congo. I think it should be split. It's too big of a
East,
country.
West, North, South.
Yeah, even 5, even 6 countries, man.
No. Why?
Here's the thing. That country is too big to run. Right? Look at Nigeria. prosperous country, biggest economy in Africa, strong identity,
True.
but it's too big to run. There's a part of that country that the government virtually has no say.
I didn't know that.
Yeah? Kenya is a small country, but the parts that are still overrun by militias. I feel like damned if we do, damned if we don't.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't break up some of these African countries, law and order is difficult to maintain. But at the same time, if we also break them up, maybe they'll be too economically unviable.
Exactly, that's what I was going to say. You get what I mean? Like, I feel like we should be geared towards a single Pan-African bloc. Okay, that should be the goal we go towards, a single Pan-African bloc. Not.
I don't believe in Pan-Africanism. Sorry. Here's the thing.
How come?
Here's the thing.
What do you mean you don't believe in
Here's the
Pan-Africanism?
thing. We are 1.5 billion people.
But isn't China a single country?
Yes, it is. Do you know why?
Mm.
How many Chinese languages do you know?
One. Mandarin. No.
Hey,
Mandarin.
I know of Mandarin. I know
And
of Cantonese.
Cantonese, yeah.
I'm not sure what they call the dialect spoken in Singapore. But
Mm-hmm.
my point is, it's one culture, one language, unified by thousands of years of history, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Africa
Mhm.
is a continent of 1.5 billion people, possibly more than 1 million tribes if we count sub-tribes properly in all these places.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
you cannot unite that. You
Mhm.
cannot. I'm sorry, you cannot. I know as a continent we have our problems that are unique to us,
Mhm.
but I feel like Pan-Africanism is used as an excuse by dictators to one, stifle consent, to stifle democratic gains, and they use it to amass power and just be selfish generally.
So do you think that's what's happening with Kagame?
Yeah,
Because they changed the constitution to have him run for another term.
exactly. And
So now he's
I
solidifying
want to
his...
get into the mechanics of how Rwanda and Uganda are operating.
Okay.
But what I'm going to say is Congo is big enough. If it was divided into 4, those countries would still be economically viable.
Yeah, because the amount of resources that country has is enough to sustain a whole continent.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
What we need to figure out, okay, is how Congo, as a member of the East African community, gains autonomy. If it's splitting it like the way we did Sudan, okay, it gains autonomy in a way that is economically sustainable for this region. Because if we could get Congo right as the East African community,
It changes everything.
it changes everything.
Let me point people. There's something Zimbabwe did last year, at the tail end of last year,
Okay.
in December.
Okay.
Some new mineral was discovered, I forget which,
Mm-hmm.
and the parliament passed a law
Mm-hmm.
forbidding the export of that mineral.
Of course.
So
Raw
any-
material.
Yes. So any
Yeah.
company that wants to invest in that mineral has to come, set up the factory in the country,
Yes.
process the mineral in the country, then pay tax if they want to export whatever they have made.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like that sets the precedent of how to handle raw materials in Africa.
In Africa, yeah, because at the end of the day, it's a business, right?
Yeah.
And if it's a business, that means we need the West to buy our raw materials.
Exactly.
And apart from that, we need to sell it at a good price. That's why I bring the point of an economic bloc. Let me put it that way. Let me take the Pan-Africanism out of it. We need a single economic African bloc. Okay, operating on a single currency. Okay.
Quite tricky, but
It's tricky, but we don't abolish the local currencies. Okay, we just create a euro situation. Like this is what we trade with the outside of
Other
Africa.
continents,
Yes,
okay.
but within Africa, all these currencies, okay, trade to this currency at this rate. Ndio najua the Kenyan shilling to the Nigerian whatever is determined by the cost of this African universal currency. You get? That will help us really in pricing our commodities at a fair market price.
Fair enough. I feel like the economics of it easier said than done.
True.
You know,
Everything is easier said than done at the end of the day.
I
But
still,
it needs
I
to
still
get
keep
done.
insisting Africa is a continent of very, very many people with a history that is fucked up. We are 60 years into independence, most of us, and there are things as countries we still haven't figured out, you know. But I feel like Wakanda is something that is aspirational, you know. We should work towards going there because Congo is the real life Wakanda. Like there's no other way to say it.
So I saw some statistics about those rocks. You say they're
they're phosphorus and there's like sulfur in them. And even according to and here's the thing, and when people are calling it vibranium, it's not just for like hype or nothing, because according to Marvel, there's a chemical composition that makes vibranium, and the chemical compositions that make this new rock actually almost very similar.
I was asking you, do you think these people
know these things?
Exactly. Like, read your books. Read your books. Let me veer off for a second. Okay, and say this. Do you know why we don't have African history available to us?
Because our forefathers didn't know how to write.
Not even that. They made sure that the narrative never continued. Our colonizers killed the narrative. Do you understand why? Because the minute we understand our history, we put theirs to shame. You understand? Like we go way back. Back when Europe was villages, we had kingdoms. We were wearing
Strong
gold.
ones,
Okay, we traded with other continents. That's why ask yourself, why do you find very big monuments and statues of people with black features? I mean round noses. All over the world. You hear about black samurais,
like from the Mali kingdom, and the Ghana kingdom, and all this West African, Timbuktu.
And those kingdoms are what we remember. There is the Africa that preceded this, the Africa that taught the Romans.
Carthage.
Yes. Okay. But they don't want you to remember that part of your history, because once you remember that history, you realize something.
There's a disconnect.
There's a disconnect here. We're not in touch with our roots. Shout out to, I saw another page on Instagram called Decolonized.
Okay.
And it's amazing. Their content is pretty interesting. Shout out to them, man.
We'll try to link them in the description so that people can
you can check them out. Decolonized is like it's funny enough, it's based in Germany.
I mean, anybody can run anything from
but I'm saying it's an African based in Germany, running it.
But for all its faults, Germany never really the main culprits of colonization
you're about to say what?
And the English, the French, and the Spanish. The others, they weren't so invested like these three powers.
Portugal was more centered towards exploring.
They had just a few stops for like docking their ships and all. But the English, Spanish, and French, main culprits.
So as I was saying, I saw some statistics about those rocks, and 2 grams can light up a house for 72 hours. Damn. 2 kgs can light up.
This shit vibranium, listen, bro. This shit is vibranium. Like
2
real life.
2 kgs can light up a 2-bedroom house for 2 months plus.
Damn.
Just imagine that. That's really interesting. So like I was saying,
2 kg,
a 2 kg rock can power up 2-bedroom
Bedroom
house for
house.
2 months plus.
That's like a 7-room house.
Yeah. And with energy consumption is across Africa, why can't we actually start producing reactors that supply electricity from these rocks? Like, why not create our own inventions from our own raw materials, like what we have on
And
ground?
then study how to synthesize that chemical or something.
Exactly.
That composition.
Exactly. Let's empower our universities to be able to go out there and research and come up with ideas and build solutions depending on the minerals found on this continent.
And that's why when you started, I was giving that the tweet I was quoting, right, from the Nigerian. Now, for those who have watched Black Panther, spoiler alert, Shuri is the current Black Panther, right? The child's sister who's always in the lab and all that shit.
Yeah.
And the metaphor,
it goes with the comics. She becomes the Black Panther after he dies.
Yeah. And the metaphor is about how, as a society or as a race, we have relegated science, or even, it doesn't have to be science per se, but wanting to better our knowledge and then improve our lives based on the knowledge you have got, which is just science anyway. But I don't want to phrase it that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's something we really need to look at. Right now, there's a education crisis going on in our countries. You know, the education systems are being changed like left, right, center every day.
But you know why?
And universities are being defunded, or corruption and embezzlement.
I feel like that
the academia has become a tool of the oppressive regime, and the academia that really wants to excel, the brain drain has taken them to other countries. So
true,
it's really, there's a disconnect between education and bettering the society, education and the industry, and then education and just promoting human wellness in the long run.
Yeah, but I get you. But you do understand that the education system is changing, because we have to start teaching what is happening now, not what was. Okay, our education system before taught us what was, not what the future can be or how to build better. Get what I mean? It taught us the past. We need to start teaching on current and how to be innovative. We need to teach innovation, by the way. From kindergarten, we just need to teach innovation. So, teaching ABCD is innovation in kindergarten. We just need to find new ways to teach ABCD. We need to teach them ABCD with code or something. Find a way to teach kids zeros and ones. But
I'm still feeling some type of way about the CBC. I don't want to get into that now.
But you see, on the front of
but we need to change.
Universities being defunded.
Yeah.
I feel like that is necessary at the moment. Ask me why.
Right-wing policies.
No, it's not right-wing policies. I'm saying these institutions have become centers of corruption. Okay?
Yeah.
We need to defund them
and
reorganize and re-implement these institutions in a much better fashion. We need to bring them up to the 21st century. You get? So before you destroy, before you rebuild, you
destroy.
Exactly. So we need to figure out
there's a problem with corruption and cronyism. There's literally universities, a lecturer will pass on or retire, the lecturer will get replaced, but they keep employing drivers every day. Why? Because the dean or the VC is employing people from his village, and that is Africa. The Mbakos are destroying this continent.
But at the end of the day, I'd prefer stronger institutions geared towards singular objectives. Like, we need institutions that take pride in something. Like KU should be a continental or world leader in something.
Diversified, yeah.
You get? We need
the Oxford University system. Rwanda also uses that, by the way.
Yeah, we need.
There's just the University of Rwanda, and then various campuses in various towns that deal with various disciplines.
What I'm saying is, fine, they can teach everything, okay? But they just need to have this specialization. Like, when you're the best of the best in the country, let's assume in engineering, like when you score the perfect score to become an engineer, you're called to UON, right? Now we need to make sure UON is on the cutting edge of technology in the engineering departments in every way. Yes, everything. The best minds in the country, from lecturers, everything. We need to create our own Caltechs. We need to create our own Harvards, institutions that produce the best of the best.
But you see, the thing that people don't get is institutions are linked to the political system. Without a free and fair democracy, without secular values in a society, you cannot have an independent academia.
What do you mean secular values? And we are a Christian country. We go to South Korea. Listen. We go to South Korea, and the best we can do is invite missionaries from South Korea.
Farm. Yo, you know, Jomo Kenyatta said one thing. The first president of Kenya, for those who don't know. He said, when the white man came, he asked us to pray. Right?
And we closed our eyes.
Like the good little Catholic boys and girls that you are. And when you opened your damn eyes, you had the Bible, but your land was fucking gone. It was gone.
I was about to put in a very interesting joke about a priest and a young boy, but I'm not that Catholic.
Go. Justin Roiland just went in.
But anyway, on the vibranium front, yeah, these are resources, okay? These are resources that can change this continent, can change this region for the better. We have so many people in that country that would love peace. But a select few people, a select greedy few, have seen it fit to put it under what? Turmoil, war, constantly. Women running up and down with mattresses, claiming war.
Every 2 months.
Every 2 months, the alphabet boys are donating weapons. Yeah. Okay, some multinational is going to give somebody some whatever money. What warlord? Yeah, that's the name. He's going to give some warlord money so that he can continue destabilizing the region, so that he can get raw minerals on the cheap. For how long will we actually not be selfish? Like, we need to love Africa for Africans. We need to stop being divided. We need to stop selling each other out to the white man, people. It was the white man before, now it's the Chinese, fam.
Here's the thing. It's also this show needs more understanding than we give credit for. Because like in Congo's situation, what's the way forward? You know, the common man really has no power to change things. The only way to fight militia is to join a militia, but how sure you can be successful? And sometimes when you get in the crossfires of war, you can lose the objective of what you really wanted to achieve in the first place.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Did the US try to liberate Somalia in the 90s?
They did not.
Yes, in the 90s. They sent their army, they tried to bring order in 98. They even have movies. Okay.
So almost like the Afghanistan situation.
Listen, they brought in their people, okay, with their amazing technology and whatever, and they were beaten. Wakarudishwa kwao. Okay. Al-Shabaab celebrated a victory over the US Army. But what happened when we as a region put in a combined effort towards restoring Somalia, what happened?
Yeah, the region is much more stable.
It's much more stable and it's much more friendlier to the population. Because we understand these are our people. We need to do the same for Congo. We need to come together as the East African region. Okay?
That is already happening, actually.
As the East African community, we come together. Anyone who's attacking, first of all, we beat to their knees. We beat.
But now the complication is...
And then, after that, we have them sit on the table with everybody. We won't jail you. We'll just tell you, you were fighting for the wrong cause, but you had your own reasons for the community you were representing.
Yeah. So how can these
ground.
factions work together moving forward? Yeah.
So we create these and we educate. First of all, we need to set up. After that, we need to put education at the forefront. So at the forefront, because educated people are harder to manipulate.
Yeah, very true.
Okay.
Very true.
And if you're educated and you have that many resources in your country, come on. You can be, this can be the South Korea, the Japan, the China of the entire, the pearl of Africa, China and Uganda. This can be the shining vibranium, vibrating for the continent.
That shit is actually vibranium.
Man!
It actually is.
Marvel, we need to know where your people got these things.
Yeah. We need to have a conversation.
Probably Captain America exists and we don't know, fam. Maybe Chris
people
Evans.
be saying compound V is a real thing, man. Ciao.
Hey, you know what it is? It's Body Dear Radio, keeping it live every day.